justice for Fawn Fire survivors.
It was just...
Well, we heard from some of those survivors today at the Shasta County Courthouse, where victims and families met there to talk about a settlement with the woman accused of starting that fire back in 2021.
Action News Now reporter Taylor Helms joins us now from the courthouse live. So Taylor, did they make any kind of progress toward a deal?
They did. So the judge and counselors were able to set a jury trial date in the future, as well as what's going to happen moving forward in this case. But one fire victim I spoke to today says she wants some kind of financial compensation so that she and her family can start rebuilding their home that was completely destroyed when the Fawn Fire happened. So Nicole Camp and her family actually moved into the Mountain Gate community 3 months before the fire and describes what they experienced as horrible. Right now they're living in a trailer on their property and managed to rebuild some fencing for their livestock, but she says they need more money to rebuild their home.
It would be nice if we got some compensation, just because we've lived in an RV for 2 years, and that whole area, that everybody lived in this area, you either... when you bought in, because we had bought it 3 months prior to the fire, we had to get California Fair Plan, but it really wasn't that good of insurance because it just covered the dwelling and a certain amount of your stuff, and it was pretty rough.
Right after the fire, Camp and her family lived with her parents for a few months before moving back onto their property. And she says it's been a struggle with replacing what they lost in the fire and getting information about what will happen to Alexandra Souverneva, the woman accused of starting the fire. She's pled not guilty to it, and Souverneva, along with some other fire victims and their families, were in the courtroom today. I couldn't film, but it was right here in Department 1 at the Justice Center. And the settlement conference lasted for about 30 minutes in closed session in the chambers with the judge. And then the conference after everything was about 10 minutes between the judge, Souverneva, and her attorney. Live in Reading, Taylor Helms, Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Thank you, Taylor. But quick question for you. Is there any chance that the suspect in the fire will actually, in fact, have to pay any financial compensation to the victims?
So I'm still working to find out that information. I actually asked that question to one of the attorneys representing some of these families that was here in the courtroom today. He says I need to connect with him and some people at his office to get that answer, so I'll continue working to find out that information.
All right, thank you, Taylor. The next court date is March 5th for the jury trial.